Hi, this is Steve Westmark, Council Realty. Thanks so much for watching my video blog this week. Recently I had the opportunity to hear Dr. Ted Jones, who's a national economist for Stewart Title, and he gave some insight on what happened in 2013 and some predictions on what to expect in 2014. The first thing that I wanted to point out that he talked about is that our economy is about 7 months away, in his opinion, from being back to normal and where we were in a more normal market in the early 2000s. And he showed that both in the types of sales that are going on, in the kinds of building that are going on, and that our history shows that we're getting back to what was more of a normal type of market. Another thing that Ted talked about was the new construction and all the new construction that's going on in the marketplace. But what's different than past years is that the strong strength in building is more in multi-unit and more in rentals. And that has more to do with the people that went through the difficulties of the short sales in the bank-owned, that at this point, with credit limits being held against them and credit scores, they're not able to purchase, so they need to rent. And that's why the rental market is so strong and why we have so many new constructions that are going on in the marketplace. The next thing that he talked about is that in formation in the Twin Cities of jobs, there were over 42,000 jobs that occurred. And he pointed out in the number of building units that we had 3.36 jobs per building unit that was built in the Twin Cities. He said that that shows that in the very near future there is going to be a continued building boom that's going to go on in the Twin Cities, because it should be somewhere between 1 and 2 jobs per building unit that's being done. So we should be doubling the amount of the building that's going on in the Twin Cities. Another thing he talked about is the federal deficit. And he pointed out that the revenues that we are generating today are somewhere around 2.4 trillion, and that our expenditures are about 3.79 trillion, which is a negative 1.32 trillion. Very difficult thing. He says that what we really need to be working on is we have got to get ourselves under control. And of course, it's very important that our Congress works on building a budget that at least they can pass, that we can move forward with in the future. The last things that he talked about in his talk was what he thought were the big items that needed to be dealt with in 2014. One is the Fiscal Cliff, which is dealing with the debt ceiling and not just kicking the can down the road, but passing budgets and doing something about it so that there will be a stronger sentiment amongst the public that they feel we're moving ahead with the positive ideas in the future. Second, he did give a warning that he believes that there's going to be a quantitative easing of our financial markets, which means that the interest rates could rise, and when that happens, he feels that the market, in the stock market, that there's going to be a decrease in our stock market yields, and the interest rates will continue to rise. A third part that he talked about is the U.S. energy. And he said right now 50% of all of our energy is coming out of the Middle East or outside of the United States. And he talked about energy dependency and working along with Canada, working along with our natural gas fields and oil up in North Dakota, and how that will help the United States become a stronger and better country by doing that. One big thing that he's concerned about is the area of where they're talking about taking away the subsidies for ethanol. And he feels if those things happen, there is going to be some type of crisis that could happen in farmland values because of the subsidies that go to corn. And he said that was a thing to watch out for in 2014. And the last thing that he mentioned was that the government can't fix everything. It's up to us to figure out how we're going to fix our own situations. Well, thanks so much for watching my video blog this week, and make it a great day. Thanks. Bye.